As I begin the recording, just a friendly reminder, if you do not wish to appear in the recording, please keep your audio and video disabled at all times. Nothing you put in the chat will appear in the recording. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Rita, you are welcome to take over.
I'm gonna stop it. What? Hit OK. Now try.
Tell her that it says that.
Brooke, it says the host has stopped the video and I can't start it. Sorry.
My apologies, everyone. Okay, great. We got our video up. Sorry about that, Rita. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rita, and I'll be your yoga teacher this morning. I have a friend with me. I call him Bendy, but he's not too bendy. But I like to use him around Halloween time because everybody knows our skeleton. And what we're going to talk about a little bit today is about the core. We're going to do a lot of work for the upper body. He fell. And when we talk about sitting down nice and straight, we're sitting in a nice chair. I'd ask you to get a nice sturdy chair, preferably one without arms, or you can also use a stool like I have here. And when we talk about my friend, Mr. Bendy, he has his ribs here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll go closer. So when we talk about sitting down nice and straight, see how nice and straight his spine is? We don't want to push out the ribs. I can't do it too much here because he's not that bendy, but we want to keep our ribs, these knitted together, almost like they're pushing down towards the spine. So when you sit down, you're not sitting like this, you're sitting down like this. So I just like to use them as a little demonstration. Keep my friend in mind. I'll put him over here. He's going to take a nap now, and we'll go ahead and get started. So like I said, have a nice chair. Get into your class, come to this moment, pull the belly in. And when we say belly, we mean the lower belly below the belly button, shoulders down, try and keep the ribs knitted as I tried to show with my friend. Roll your shoulders back a little just to get into the moment, and close your eyes for just 3 breaths, bringing yourself to this point at this time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, keeping your eyes closed, coming to this point in time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And one more time, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And open your eyes. Cross your arms. Bring one elbow over the other. Try and reach back for your shoulder blades. We're going to do a lot of work for the upper back and the shoulder blade work today. So try and cross your elbows, maybe one on top of the other. Keep the elbows away from your chest. So not down like this, up and away. And reach as far as you can back there. Now slowly stretch your arms out, palms facing towards your screen. And then slowly inhale. And cross the other arm on top and reach for your shoulder blades. Right? I call this the hug stretch. And just reach over, try and touch the shoulder blades. Slowly come out, reach, arms nice and straight, maybe a little further back behind, but keep the belly engaged. And then slowly bring the other arm on top, alternating the arms, one on top of the other. Good, keep the elbows away, nice, making them almost like a shelf. And slowly stretch out. Good, we'll do one more set. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring the arms together, alternating the other arms, bring your elbows up even higher. One last time, stretch it out. Reach to opposite sides, and then exhale, slowly come back in. And reach, 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 reach. Good. And then slowly come back out. Good. Bring your arms down. This next one we call puppet. So bring your arms straight here, your elbows close to the side, your arms straight ahead, parallel to the floor. I'm squeezing my fingers together because that helps engage more muscles. So keep the elbows glued to your ribs. Slowly bring your arms out this way, just hinging your elbows out, and then slowly bring your arms together so that your hands touch in a prayer. And then slowly come out. Good. And inhale. Bring your arms together. Exhale, slowly come out. Your belly is still engaged, pushing the belly button to the spine. Slowly bring your hands together. Exhale, come out. We'll do one more with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Hold it right there. Now, this next one's called diamond. You're going to bring your arms up and over your head. Your elbows are bent. Your belly is still engaged. Nice engagement right here. Elbows bent. Good. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the elbows down to your sides, just like we did before. And slowly come back up. Good. Inhale. Exhale down. Good. Hold it there. And then inhale, come back up. And then exhale, slowly come down. Let's do two more. Stretch up, creating the diamond shape so your arms aren't straight. At the same time, try and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Slowly come down. Let's do one more for fun. Stretch up, reach, reach, reach. Elbows bent like a diamond. And then slowly come back down. Good. The next one is called rowing. So you're going to bring your hands together here at your chest, and then you're just going to stretch out like you're rowing in a canoe, and then slowly come back. Now, all the time, your back is straight. You are not arching your back at all. So you'll stretch out. I'll show you the side view, and you come back in. Your belly is still engaged, supporting your back. Stretch out. Just because your arms are moving, your back is staying stable. Good. Stretch out. Come back in. Stretch out. Come back in. Maybe it's good canoeing weather today. Maybe. Stretch out. Come back in. Do two more. Stretch out. And come back in. And stretch out. And come back in. This is Coco, my yoga dog. Okay, now, next is mermaid. Sitting up nice and straight, your feet flat on the floor. Bring one arm up and over, straight up, and then bend it to the side. Reach over to the side. Keep both hips firmly planted in the chair, feet flat on the floor. So all you're reaching is your arm and this body, this nice stretch on this side of the body. So reach and reach. Reach as far as you can without lifting up the hip. And then slowly come back straight up and down. Other arm, reach straight up first. Make sure the belly's engaged, and then reach over. This hip has to stay in the chair. Don't bring it up. And feet flat on the floor. If you're short like me, you have to lean forward a little, keep the feet flat on the floor. Now reach over, trying to stretch from the tips of the fingers all the way down this side of the body. Hips are staying glued for your stability. Reach. Keep the eyes straight ahead. So don't look down, don't twist. Just look straight ahead towards your screen. Reach. And then slowly come back straight up and down. We'll do one more set. Reach your arms straight up, belly in, reach over. Hips staying in the chair. Reach. Keep the eyes straight ahead. Good. So the head is in line with everything. Reach and reach. Come back up, straight arm and down. Reach the other arm straight up, belly in and reach. Nice stretch for the side of the body. Keep reaching. You'll find probably that one side stretches more than the other. Remember, that means you're human. We're not symmetrical on each side. Reach, depending how we do our day. Right-handed, left-handed, whatever. And then slowly come back up and down. Good. We'll do some shoulder rolls. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back and then slowly come down. Shoulders up to the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades together, down. Shoulders up to the ears, bring the blades together, down. 2 more, shoulders up and back and down, and shoulders up and back and down. Now we'll go forward. Shoulders up to the ears, and then just roll your shoulders forward and down, keeping your belly in, your back straight. Shoulders up and forward and down. Shoulders up, forward and down. 2 more. Shoulders up, forward and down. And shoulders up, forward, down. Nice, good. Those of you who are working at a computer all day or doing a lot of this sitting down, this is good practice to do every 20 minutes or so. Tilt your head side to side now. We've already done some work with our neck and our head, so we need to give it a little love. Tilting it side to side. Reach one arm up and over your head. Tilt the head towards the bent elbow. So you're trying to have this ear reach your shoulder. It won't get there maybe today, that's fine. But that's what you're aiming for. Once again, your eye gaze is straight ahead, not down, not tilted. Now take the opposite arm, squeeze the fingers together and reach them to the other side. Nice straight arm. Stretch, reach for that arm is trying to reach for something down on that side. Good. Should feel an opposite stretch on the other side of the head, the neck. And then slowly bring this arm down, bring your arm up. Now keep the arm here, elbows still to the side, and turn your head towards that elbow. Now, tilt the head down like you're trying to literally smell your armpits. That's it. Smelling the pits, as I say. Reach down and be a nice, different stretch. This was recommended to me by a physical therapist. She says everybody should do this for their neck and shoulders and upper back. Slowly come back up, turn your head to the center, bring this arm down. Other side, reach the arm up and over. Make sure the elbow is out to the side. Don't let it come forward. Bring it out to the side, belly in. Tilt your head, ear towards the shoulder. One side, like I said before, might be a little bit more flexible than the other. That's okay. Just being aware of that is part of the yoga practice. Squeeze your fingers together, stretch the opposite arm straight out. Now you really want this arm to be engaged. It's not just there for fun. So stretch like you're trying to reach for something right there. Good. Keeping everything nice and holding the position. Inhale, take one breath and exhale. Good. Bring this arm down. Now keep the arm here, your elbow bent, excuse me, and turn your head towards the elbow. Now tilt down and smell the pits, as I say. So reach down, you feel an opposite stretch on this side of the neck, on the opposite side of the neck. This feels really good for me. And reach. And then slowly bring that head up, bring it straight ahead and bring it up and over. Good. Now we're going to work on our wrists and our hands. They say that the grip goes really fast as you age. So we do a lot of work to keep our fingers and our wrists mobile. So first thing we want to do is to bring the wrist into prayer. So you're going to press your hands together, elbows out to the side. That doesn't mean that you give the belly a vacation. The belly is still pulled in, pushing to the back of the spine, supporting the lower back. Shoulders are down. So some people, if you go around and look at HEB or the stores, you'll see some people going their whole day with their shoulders up. Relax your shoulders. And they probably don't know it. So relax your shoulders. Press your hands together, especially the heel of the hand. This is the lower part of the hand. Press it in, engaging chest muscles. Elbows out to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now turn your wrists down if you can. Your mobility will be different than others. So just play with your mobility today. See where you're at. Press it down. I know people that go much further than this. Sometimes if you're right here, that's fine. Just try what you can, whatever works. And then slowly come back up. Good. And then try and turn the fingertips more towards your chest. And then once more, go back down wherever it works for you today. If it hurts or you're starting to breathe a little quicker, then pull back. And then slowly come back in here. Good. Now bring their arms straight out here. Turn one wrist down, take the other hand and press that wrist down nice and gently, not forcefully, of course, but you're trying to encourage a stretch of that wrist. Keep the elbows as straight as you can. Good, right there. And if you're right-handed or left-handed, you might notice the difference depending which hand you're on now. Now turn it up, take the 4 fingers and just push them back nice and gentle. This is for your wrist, for your fingers. Good, stretch out. Good. And then we'll do the other hand. So stretch the other hand out, turn it down, elbows straight, take the other hand, gently pressing the wrist down, sitting up straight. Your belly is still engaged. You are not leaning back against the chair. You are holding yourself up. Good, stretch. And like I said, this is my right hand, so I'm a little bit more flexible in this one. Yeah. And now turn the fingers up. Again, this part may be a little different from one side to the other. Keep your arm as straight as you can and pull the fingers back gently, gently. Always doing these nice and gentle, becoming aware of what the body, where the body is today. Good. Now clasp your fingers together right here. Excuse me, and try and do figure 8. Figure 8. So I'm just circling my wrist as best as I can. Excuse me. Circling my wrist. Nice and circle, nice good circles. You might hear snap, crackle, pop. That's fine. All right, now stop. Now here's the hardest part of class. Try and remember which way you went and go the other way. This is the hardest part of class. So this is the way the brain is kind of tricking you to saying, I don't go that way, but you're going to try. And this keeps circling. So good for the wrists, the fingers, a little bit of the forearms. Good. Now stretch the arms straight out. Good. Palms straight away from you. Bring the arms straight up for a nice final stretch there and bring it down. The last one for the hands is we're going to take the thumbs. The thumbs don't get a lot of love, even what we just did. So we're going to take the thumb. You're going to grab the thumb with the other hand and you're just going to circle it. Yeah, just start circling it. The thumb may say, oh, I don't want to do that. You haven't done that with me at all. And we're going to say, well, we're going to start doing that because the thumbs can get really stiff. They can get arthritis pretty quickly. So we need to keep them moving. So then once you do a few times on one side, once again, try and reverse. And this is the hard part for the brain to say, oh, okay, I'm going the other way. So a little bit of brain work today. See, my mind doesn't want to go that way. It's going, what? All right, now do your spirit fingers and then take the other thumb and do the same thing. So I'm isolating the thumb from the rest of the hand and I'm doing some circles. Yeah, and again, one hand will feel different than the other. We are not symmetrical in looks or in movement. So just be at peace with that right here. Nice and gentle. All right. Now stop and go the opposite way. Your thumb's going, what? Thumbs need love too, always. And just do your circles as best you can. If your thumbs are a little stiff today, that's okay. If you do this every day, your thumbs are going to love you. While you're watching TV, Waiting for the water to boil to put your eggs in. All right, now come out. This is what I call spirit fingers. So now you're going to bring your fingers into your hands, like making a fist, and then let them go. I'll show it closer to my blue shirt so you can see. So bring them in and let it go. Bring them in and let it go. We call this spirit fingers in dance class. Let it go and bring it in and let it go. One more this way, bring it in and let it go. Now bring your arms straight up, spirit fingers, sit straight up, bring them in and go. Bring your hands down to your side, squeeze your fingers in, let it go. Bring them down here, squeeze them in, let them go. Down here to the side, in, and let them go, and bring your hands together. Nice. One more for the head and neck. Bring your hands behind your head. I'm clasping my hands behind my lower part of my head, sitting up straight. Once again, no arch in the back like this, sitting up nice and straight. The belly is supporting the lower back. Good. And then slowly bring your elbows close together. You're trying to kiss your elbows. They may not get there. That's okay. Now try not to bring your head down on this. You might get a stretch that way, but I want to try and keep your head as straight up as possible first to see where we're at. And then slowly come out. Good. We'll do 2 more like this. So bring them in. Sitting up nice and straight, belly in, and then bring them out. And one more, bring them in this way, keep the head up, and bring them out. Now you can start lowering the head. So slowly bring the shoulders in. You should feel the shoulder blades stretching, and you can bring your head down as much as possible. And there you feel some stretch there. Whoa. And then slowly come back out, elbows out to the side, do 2 more. Bring the elbows in, drop the head down. Oh yes, this is another good one if you've been Zooming all day or working at a computer or driving, come back out. And one more, bring the elbows in, drop the head down, and slowly come back up. Good. Now bring your hands to your shoulders. Once again, belly still engaged, elbows out to the side, and circle your elbows. They don't have to be very big, but you want them to be nice circles so that you can almost feel the shoulder blades squeezing together. And squeeze, yes. Squeeze, good. Do 2 more this way, and 2. Now hold it there and go the other way. So now I'm going forward because I started backwards. And just circles. Again, they don't have to be very big circles, but enough to feel your shoulder blades and those muscles around them getting some activity. Good. And circle, and circle, and circle. Good. Bring your hands down. Bring one arm straight up. Bend the elbow. Reach around up and over your head with the other hand. Grab the elbow. Sitting up straight. Once again, the back is straight. No arching, the back is nice and straight. This is hard because the elbows, arms are above your head. Good, and stretching the tricep, which is this part of the arm. Try and reach further down with that hand. Good, and then bring your arms down, reach the other arm straight up. Elbow bent, reach up and over, grab the elbow once again. This is where your back wants to arch. Pull the belly in. Really overcompensate for that to make sure that you're supporting your back. And reach, reach, reach. Good. And then slowly come down. Tilt your head left and right. Nice work. Good. All right, let's work some lower body. So we're going to start running. So bring your feet off the floor. If you're taller, you could get a cushion to try and lift your feet off the floor. Try and lift your feet right off the floor. I'll move back a little so you can see me. And start running. Good. Right here, we're running. My feet are off the floor. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. I'm running. I always ask my classes, where would you like to run to today? Sometimes they say Starbucks, which is down the street. Sometimes they say Cancun, which is a little further run. Sometimes they just say, let's just go to HEB, whatever. So we're just running, it's getting the lower body engaged, getting some blood rushing through our legs. Nice work. Good way to get the heart rate up a little. Good. All right, now we've almost hit our destination. So we're gonna slow down. Good. And I don't know if your chair has a rung across the back, but this is a nice stretch for your legs. And it just depends on where your chair is, but just pull your legs back a little. I have a rung here. So if you don't have a rung, that's even better. Just pulling your legs back. All right, now we're going to point and flex. I'm going to bring my chair a little closer so you can see. So bring your legs straight out. I'll show you a side. Okay, so point and flex and point and flex, sitting up straight. I'm still not leaning back on my chair. I'm leaning forward. Point and flex, legs straight out. They don't have to be high. They shouldn't be higher than your chair seat. And flex and point and flex, point and flex. Two more, point and flex and point and flex. Keep the legs there. Hold on to the back sides of the chair if you need to, and bring your legs straight out wide. Nice wide, what we call second position in dance class. Your legs are still flexed, so your toes are still facing you. You're gonna feel a stretch right here in the inner thigh. Yeah. So hold it there for a couple more seconds. This is a nice stretch for these inner thighs that don't get a lot of love either, like the thumbs. Now we're slowly gonna bring our legs together. So nice and slow. Don't just pull them together. Nice and slow, like you're resisting. And then you bring them together and then slowly go back out again. Nice and wide. The wider, the better. Flex your feet. Slowly come together. Slowly come together. The inner thighs are touching. Then slowly bring them back out again. Wide legs. Keep the feet flexed. Slowly come together. We'll do a few more. Stretch out. This is so important to be stretching our inner thighs. They do a lot for us during the day, especially for balance. Stretch out. Come together and stretch out. We're going to do one more. Come together and stretch it out. Now hold on to the chair and then just slowly slide your legs so that they're on the floor. So they'll look, let me show you, go further back to show you. So now your legs are on the floor. Your feet, your heels are on the floor, not your legs. Your heels are on the floor. Your feet are flexed. You're sitting up nice and straight, still the belly engaged, and you're just creating the static stretch on the floor. This time, because you're on the floor, you can maybe go a little wider. Just kind of depends where you're at, where your hips are at, where your inner thighs are at. Take a deep breath. Exhale. These are big muscles we're stretching. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now slowly drag your heels back together on the floor until they touch. Good. And then feet straight ahead of you now. Okay, now we're going to do a hamstring stretch. So stretch, go stiff breath. Stretch your leg out and go to the side so you can see me. So stretch your leg out, flex the foot so the heel is on the floor and the other leg is nice and bent. So the more you go over to the edge of the chair without falling, the better the stretch. You're stretching the back of your knee and you're stretching your hamstrings, which are behind your thigh. So stretch. Flex the foot, that protects the knee. Sitting up straight, enjoying the stretch. If you're watching a 30-minute TV program, you could do 15 minutes on this leg and 15 on the other, maybe, or 5 and 5. It's so important to stretch these hamstrings. If you sit a lot, if you're in the car a lot, these get really stiff, and hamstrings are so important for our mobility. Now we'll slowly drag this one back and stretch the other one out. So right leg stretch out, flex the foot. I'm going to lower my screen just a little. You hold the stretch. I want you all to see what we're doing. So stretch the leg. Yeah. Flex the foot. Once again, I'm going almost to the edge of my chair. I'm very short. I'm only 5'1", so my legs are short. So it depends on the length of your legs, but you want to have that leg as straight as you can because you're stretching. Foot is flexed, looking at your toes. So take another deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more for fun. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly drag them together. Now, we're going to sit up nice and straight. Our feet are still flat on the floor, as you can see. Hands right on my lap. My feet are straight ahead. Some people naturally sit or stand with one foot out to the side or both. I want you to have your feet straight ahead, working the actual alignment the way our body is intended to be. Hands on your lap and just lift your heels up and down. Now the trick on this one is you don't want to rock. So you don't want to be lifting up and rocking back like this. Once again, your belly is still engaged, your back is supported, you are nice and firmly planted into your chair and you're just lifting heels. So that's why you have to make sure your feet are flat on the floor and you can lift your heels up and down. We'll do 15 of these. Yes, 15. I think this is 5 or 4, 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, 12. Your calves are talking to you. 13, 14, and 15. Hold it there. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Calves are loving you. Slowly come down. Now turn your feet so that your toes are out and your heels are in. Your heels are touching. So this is called first position in dance class. For those of y'all who remember your dance class. And then bring your toes together and then turn them out. So you're trying to keep your toes, your heels touching all the time. They don't separate. And then bring them in. This is a little work for our hips. Turn them out and bring them in and turn them out and bring them in and turn them out and bring them in and turn them out. 2 more. Bring them in and turn them out and bring them in and turn them out. Good. And slowly come back together. Nice. Good. And you can circle your hips a little. We'll do a little bit more of this at the end of class. Circling your hips. So all we're doing is trying to pull the belly in, isolating this part of the body and doing some circles. And now we're going to stand up for those who can stand. And if not, you can stay in your chair. And these can pretty much be done in your chair with some modification. The next is cat-cow. So I want you to turn the chair if you're standing so that the seat faces you. If you're doing cat-cow sitting in the chair, you'll be here sitting in the chair and you'll push the chest out and pull the belly in. And just keep doing that, out and in. We'll be doing this standing. This is really good to work the core mobility. So you want to have your feet straight ahead in front of the chair. And I have them about hip width, about the distance of my chair legs, depending on what kind of chair you have. So they're about straight, they're about 2 or 3 fifths straight in the center. Bring your, starfish your hands. So spread your fingers out and bring them straight down onto the chair seat. Try and have, this is called the pit of the elbow. So try and have the pit of the elbow facing the chair back. Just see what your mobility is like. Good. And you can look in your computer screen to see how it looks. Does it look like a tabletop? Does your back look so straight that you could put your finest china on there? Maybe. Push your shoulder blades up to the ceiling. So we don't want you winging. I don't want you doing this. You see the winging? I don't want you dropping the belly, at least not yet. I want you to have a nice straight back. So I'm thinking of pushing my shoulder blades up to the ceiling and these pits of the elbows straight ahead. That is your alignment. Okay, now we're going to do cat-cow.
So you're going to pull the belly in. So I'm going to try and round my back as much as I can, like an angry cat. And then I'm going to drop the belly this time and push forward just a little. Push my chest forward, push my head forward. Good. You see a little arch in the back. And now we're going to do it again. We do the cat. So pull the belly in, tuck your chin in, round the back, and then drop the belly, push towards the back of your chair, chin up just slightly. You can see an arch in the back this time. Pull the belly in, round the back, tuck the chin in, and then drop, push towards the back of the chair. And then the last one, pull the belly in, and drop the belly, push towards the back of the chair. Good. And then come back to your neutral position. Once again, I got rid of the arch. I pulled the belly in. Now I have a straight back. Good. Hold it there. Hold it, and hold it. Good. Now keep your hands there. Try and maintain the pits of your elbows towards the back of the chair. You're going to separate your legs more. Those who are sitting, you can stretch your legs straight out. That's what we'll be doing. And you can bend left and right. We'll be doing this standing. So once again, my hands are right, firmly planted in the chair seat. I'm going to separate my legs as much as it feels comfortable. My toes right now are straight ahead, but now I'm going to turn my toes out just slightly. And I'm going to bend to the right so that my right knee is over my right toes. I'm going to do this as much as I can so that I feel a stretch in the opposite leg. You're growing your inner thigh. I'm going to do that as much as I start feeling that stretch. Good. And then I'll come back up and bend the other knee. Now remember, the knee has to stay in line with the toes. Don't torque it away from the toes. That's when the knees start giving you some fun. So bend the knee over the toes. Good. And you might feel, again, more side stretching than the other. That's just, again, your mobility for the day. And then do that again. So I go back to straight, and then I bend the other knee over, and I'm keeping my back fairly straight. I'm not bending over too much. You don't want to bend over that much. It's too much pressure on your spine. Come back over and then bend this way. Good. Bend, bend, bend. Nice. Good. All right. Then that's your inner thigh stretch. Now we're going to do bird dog. So once again, bring the feet back towards right in front of the chair, about the width of your chair legs. Good. And those who are sitting, you can do bird dog where you're sitting here and you'll just bring one leg up. Okay. We'll do bird dog this way. So keep your hands flat on the seat, your pits of the elbows straight ahead. And you're going to kick one leg straight back. I'm going to move this chair. So bring the one leg straight back. Now, I don't want to see these turned out hips. So what you're trying to do is kick the leg up without compromising your hips. So your hips need to try and stay flat. And sometimes it's hard for you to see yourself, but you can look in your computer screen to see if your hips are fairly flat. Something like that. Good. And then you can flex your foot. You can point it, flex and point. Keep it pointed. If you're ready, only if you're ready, you can stretch the opposite arm straight out. So you're like a bird dog. So your opposite hand of the leg is stretched out. You're going to try and keep your head in line. So you don't want to crank the head up. You don't want to drop it down. You want to keep it right in line with the spine and stretch. There's your balance challenge. Good. And then you bring your hand down, your leg down, and we'll do the other one. So foot straight ahead, the standing foot, the other leg goes straight back. Once again, you make sure that your hips are not going crazy on you. One side will be a little bit mobile than the other, maybe. Try and keep your back as straight. See, I have my one hip coming up. I'm trying to straighten that. Good. And just kick your leg up and flex it. Flex the foot, point it, flex and point, and flex and point. Keep it pointed If you're only ready, you can actually start here with your hand on your chair back, or you can go straight out. Keep the head in line with the spine. Good. Try and keep the back as straight as possible. Belly is still engaged. Good. Stretch, stretch. And then slowly come back and bring this leg down. Good. And you can wiggle your hips side to side to see, just to get all that worked up, get it stretched out. Good. Now, what I like to do is keep my feet straight ahead. My hands are still on the chair. The elbow pit straight ahead, so you're lined up. And I'm going to try and get up, bring my hands off the chair without doing too much of this. So this is once again a core work. So you're going to lean forward just a little bit. So a lot of people just come back up this way. Did you see how I pushed back? So I want you to think about staying either centered or forward a little. Pull the belly in and then just come up straight, almost like a hinge. So that's an intense stretch. Okay, good. We're going to put the foot on the chair. So those who are sitting, you can, if you're sitting and you're not standing, you can just bring one foot out because we're going to work on some balance this way, but you sitting can do this. We'll put one foot up here. I'm going to put my left foot up first. So here's another balance challenge. The standing foot, the toes are straight ahead. Once again, the belly is in. Try not to lean back here. Thinking tall, head up to the ceiling. I know you can't see my head right now. So standing up nice and straight. You can have one hand here. You can have both hands here. And I want you to start lifting the foot off the chair. And if you feel a little wobbly, don't do it, but just play with your balance a little bit. Hey, maybe. Hey, whatever. Go for it. Good. And then you can grab the back of the chair if you have a good sturdy chair and just work a lunge. So now the lunge, you're stretching this hip flexor right here, the standing leg. Nice lunge. We played with our balance a little. Then come back and bring the leg down. Now the other leg, we always have to give equal time. So the standing leg, make sure the foot is straight ahead. Standing up nice and straight, thinking tall, reaching up to the ceiling. Like I have a string on my head and I'm pulling straight up to the ceiling. That's what we're looking for. Now this hip of mine and I have had little discussions this year. So I'm not going to lift mine that high, but try and lift your foot off the floor. I'm going to give it some assistance and you can also do that. You can grab underneath your knee and just say, hey, how are we doing? Good. We're still balancing on one leg. Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. And then grab the back of the chair, go to the back of the chair and stretch. Oh, yeah. Stretching the opposite, your standing leg, your hip flexor. Good. Nice little lunge. So good. And slowly come back and slowly bring the leg down. Good. Now we're going to do some walking. I think we've done this before. You might have done it in other classes. It's real important as we walk, as the weather gets nice and cool, we'll be able to walk again without working into a heat stroke. But we have to be able to walk and look right and left, because you could be walking in your neighborhood and your neighbor calls you and you say, oh, hi, and then you lose your balance and everything goes downhill. So let's walk, just walk. And you're picking up one leg and the opposite arm is moving just like normal, walking, and then look to your right, look center, look to your left and center. Try not to lean your body too far on the side. Look to the right and center so you're not leaning. Look to your left and center. You're still walking straight up. Look to your right and center and left and center and right and center and left and center, and just keep walking. Good. Nice. All right, now it's time for squats. Squats are important, but you don't have to do really deep squats. You have to do squats deep enough for a few things: to sit in a chair, to reach down on the bottom shelf at HEB, to pet your dog, whatever. So the first one we're going to do is our feet straight ahead. They're about the hip width distance, so my hip bones are about right here. So my feet are straight down here. And I'm just going to squat long enough so that
low enough so that my fingertips touch my knees, and then come back up. And just squat and come back up. Now, this is what it looks like from the side. So you're not really leaning forward. It's just a nice squat. So the knees are doing some work. They're getting some work. Good. And squat and go up and squat and go up and squat and go up. Now we're going to go squat and we're going to come up on our toes and push our hands back. This is what it looks like from the side. You're going to squat and push up. Keep your belly in, squat and push up and squat. Push up on your toes, squat, push up. 2 more, squat, push up and squat, push up. Good. Now the next one is we're going to squat, but we're going to squat and just lean back into our toes. So instead of staying up on the toes, so I'll show you here. We'll squat and then rock back a little. Squat and rock back. Now your booty will go back. Squat and your booty will go back. Try not to fall like I just did. Squat and push back and squat. Push back. 1 more. Squat and push back. Good. Next one is you can use your chair for this. We're going to just come up on our toes. That's all we're doing. So feet, once again, about hip width distance. You're just going to come up on your toes and down. Once again, in a little bit, we'll rock on our heels again. So come up and down. Now, just come up. When you come up, if you are barefoot, and I highly encourage you to do your yoga practices barefoot on a good solid floor or a mat, because that's how you know if you're feeling the floor, feeling the feet. You should try and make sure that all 10 toes are touching the floor. Sometimes some toes don't go to the party. So right now I'm making sure that even my pinky toe is up. And go up and down, and 2 more, up and down and up and down. Now the next one we're going to go up and you're going to bend the knees slightly. Good. And we're just going to pulse these knees. If your knees bother you, by all means, don't do this. You can also do this with your heels back on the ground. But if you can, stay on your toes and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just hold it there. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and slowly come back up and down. The next one is going to put 1 foot in front of the other. Another balance challenge. So 1 foot is in front of the other. I still have my feet separate. So this back foot is not straight behind, it's separate. So I call these railroad tracks. So our feet kind of look like railroad tracks. And you're going to come up on the toes, hold on to the chair and down if you need to. Come up and down, come up and down. Make sure the big toe is pushing into the floor, but at the same time, make sure the little toe is feeling the floor too. Put up and down. And I think this is 5, maybe 4, 5, and 6, and hold it, and then slowly come down. Now bring that foot back, bring the other foot in front. Once again, make sure your feet are separate. And I mean really separate, not this separate, but that separate. So they're straight ahead, parallel, but like railroad tracks. Come up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And I think I lost count, so we'll just do 95 more. And down, and last 2, and up and down. Good. And you can shake it out. We'll do a little hip circle before we go back to sitting. So place your hands right on your hip bones, push your hips forward, take them to the side, push them back, push them to the other side and forward. This is hip isolation, so we're not moving the upper body. It goes along for the ride, but the real movement is right here. Push the hips forward, take it to this side, push it back, push it to the other side and forward. 1 more set. This side, back, side, and forward. And now side, back, side, and forward. Now, if you can, do some fluid circles, just nice fluid circles, 3 or 4 on each side. So good for the hips. Now I'm going to turn my direction. Good. Oh, this feels good. And 3 and 4. Good. Now I'll come back to bringing you back in the chair. So chair straight ahead. We're going to do a warrior 2 variation sitting down. I think y'all might have done this before. So turn your body to the side, the back of the chair. So you're sitting here, and then just turn so that your hand will be on the back of the chair, and your leg will kind of look like a Z. So one leg in front, the other leg right here. I'm very short, so it's really, I have to be towards the end of the chair for this. So just hold on. The back of my foot, if you can see it, yes. The back of my foot is on the toes. This foot I'm trying to keep on the floor. But once again, I'm so short that I'm really working on that. Pull the belly in. Good. So here's your first, your setup. And you can start working your arms. So pull the belly in. Don't arch the back. You can bring your arms here. You can bring them up. You can bring your arms back here. Hold on if you want to really stretch this back leg. If you want to straighten it, you can bring it straight back, stretching this hip flexor. Keep the foot off, if the heel's off and it's on your toes, it's a really intense stretch. If it's too much, then just bring it back together. Just play with your yoga. Play with your practice and see what's happening. Good. And then we'll slowly come back to the center again, sitting in the chair, and then we'll turn to the other side. Same thing. I'm off to the edge of the chair. My front foot is flat, and this one is back here, trying to keep the heel off the floor, kind of like a Z. Pull the belly in. I'm trying not to arch the back. I'm trying to keep the belly in. Good. And then for a more intense stretch, you can bring this leg further back, as far back as it feels good for you. You will feel the hip flexor, a little bit of the quad. Keep the belly in. Try not to keep the back arched. Nice straight back, arms straight out. They can be up. You can hold it, look straight ahead. Come back here. And then slowly come back together and bring the hips and legs together. Good. Last one. Come out to goddess. This is the goddess pose. I love this one because it really turns the hips out. Your feet should be flat on the floor, but your toes are turned out. Sitting up straight, the belly is engaged. You're going to do some hip circles first, like we did standing. So just do some hip circles here. Just circling your hips. Pull the belly in. Good. This feels good. Releases a lot of the back. And now we're going to do what I call Frankenstein lifts. So you're going to sit up straight. Your arms are straight down. You bring your arms up like Frankenstein. And so your elbows are at 90-degree angles. Then you're going to flip your arms up. So you're like at cactus. Good. And then you'll reach straight up. And as you reach up, that belly needs to go in because you don't want to arch your back. So pull the belly in, arms straight up, then bring them to cactus, hinge down into Frankenstein, and then slowly come back. If you have tiny little weights, this is also fun to do with tiny little weights, 1 or 2 pound weights. So hinge, cactus up, stretch up, pull the belly in. When those arms go up, your belly has to be engaged. Cactus, hinge down, straight down, hinge, cactus, stretch up, cactus, hinge, and down. One more hinge, cactus, hold it here. Your legs can come closer together if they're tired of being out. See how you feel, but just turn to your left. Look over your left shoulder if you can. Little tiny, gentle twist for the back and spine. Come back here and then reach over to the other side. Gentle twist, always gentle. Come back here, do one more, twist over to the left, my left. Come back to center and then twist over to the other side. and come back here. Good. You can bring your legs back together. Feet flat on the floor. Reach up, palms together in prayer. Bring your hands past your mind's eye to your heart center. It's my pleasure to serve you in your yoga practice this morning. Y'all have a fabulous day. My name is Rita. Namaste.